let's get right to it. I'm gonna just pop over to my picture-in-picture screen here, and now we're going to get moving. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I already have the house done, like as you can see. The house is already ready to roll just to save a bit of time. And I'm going to just add our project in. And I already have the measurements for this as well, so it should go pretty quick. Although the pergola is probably going to take us quite a bit of time because even though this program, Real-Time Landscape Architect, renders itself pretty quickly, like renders all the textures and everything fairly fast, it still takes a while to kind of piece everything together. So if I'm a little bit quiet when I'm putting it together, it's just because I'm just trying to focus and trying to speed things up for everybody. So I'm gonna get going with this. And so this is gonna be our project here. So that's gonna be the basic outline of the project. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna raise it up to our door height. Okay, awesome. And so now that's done. So I also have pre-designed custom filters and deck styles in my program already preset. So I'm going to just go with this style. This is a Duradex style, meaning it's not going to have any water running through it, so it's perfectly waterproof. And I'm going to just take care of my railing. I'm removing this railing because I'm going to put a privacy screen there, and I'm going to remove that rail because I'm going to be putting stairs in. So speaking of stairs, let's add our stairs. Come on, there we go. Okay, so what I want to do here is I'm going to just switch a few of the settings up. We're going to go to an 8-inch rise, which is acceptable, but it's going to keep our deck, if you look, it's going to keep our deck stairs nicely in line with the edge of our deck. We don't want them to be, you know, too far out because then it just kind of looks strange. So I'm going to try and tuck them in. So 8 inches is acceptable. It's a bit of a big rise, but if it's within standard building practices, and you can get away with it if you need to. So at this point, we have our deck pretty much laid out. Now I want to just add our privacy screen. Okay, so I'm going to just grab it. We're going to do a cedar privacy screen on this one. So I just grabbed my fence. I grabbed my fence, whatever you call it, object, and I'm going to be putting it in there. So we're also going to change these posts up a bit. And when I do these, I actually did this exact project with a client live just about, I think, 3 or 4 days ago, and you know, it actually works out really, really well. It's even better than being in person because when you're in person with two people, sometimes they like to, you know, if you're dealing with like a couple or, you know, two partners, it's kind of interesting when you can't actually see them so they can kind of talk to each other in case they have to, like, you know, say something and you're right there. They actually, I think, enjoy the screen share a lot better because then they can kind of talk to each other if they have like little kind of, you know, design questions, just to speak amongst themselves and not really kind of have me there kind of just watching them interact. So sometimes it's a little bit awkward. But when you're there, you know, when they're behind their screen, they can obviously just do it because I don't share the video. I just share the screen, like my screen, and then they just talk to me through my headset or through their phone. Okay, so now we're going to change this texture. You could do different kinds of textures here. We could do a maintenance free. Let's just do a maintenance free one actually in this one. I was gonna do a cedar privacy screen, but I think we're gonna just go with like a maintenance free style. So I'm gonna just paint this black. Oh, that's not what I wanna do. This is what I wanna do. So we're gonna just paint this black. It's gonna just match the railing. I'm gonna throw a top cap on there too, just to make it look really good. And now, so for the deck, we have to eliminate these supports. I'm going to keep the joists, eliminate the supports. I'm going to have to put those in manually because the program will just put them in kind of randomly, and it won't fit this kind of design. So I actually have to remove the railing for 2 seconds so I can put my posts in. And I do this again manually, so it takes a little bit of time. So I'm gonna just do like a 7" by 7" post. The actual measurement is usually about 5.5 inches, but I just make them a little bit bigger so people can kind of, it's a little bit easier for people to see. And now I'm going to move this over here. Yep, and move this over here. And I have to now trace a line. So, because I'm going to line this post up here, I got to line this up perfectly with this edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my my snap point, and I'm going to grab at this snap up here, and I'm going to just pull down to this snap, and I'm going to just pull my line all the way through. So you could do this with an actual line right here, but I just use the dimensional measuring tool to create a line, and then the line's created, and I can just take my my post and just line it up just at the two edges and just visually line it up. So we got all of our posts in place. So here's a nice little trick just to speed things up. You just select one of the blocks, hit L, and then you just increase your height. And once that's increased, you can just pull down your elevation, make all the posts go through. And then we're going to go back up with height again. There we go. And there we go too. Okay, so these are all done. We're going to make these posts. These ones are actually going to be the cedar posts here. So I'm going to change these to I'm going to go to my deck and fence textures. I'm going to find my cedar one. I couldn't find it last time, so hopefully I can find it this time. There we go. Boom. So there, it's already shaping up pretty quickly. We're going to toggle our railing back in. And I just hit this toggle rail button, and then I just click it back in wherever it is. You'll see the little plus minus sign, and you can just turn the rail on and off where you need it. So this is already shaping up pretty quickly. We have our deck in place. We have these two patio doors down here, and the client actually wanted a pergola that extended through the deck. So I'm going to just keep going with that. So we're going to use our measuring tool to create our line again. Oops. There we go, and I'm going to do another one here just so I can find that exact corner. And so this is a pretty good tutorial on how to do the pergola. I'm going to do another video on exactly how to build the pergola, and some people might find this interesting just to use the program, but this is just to really help our clients see what happens when I kind of work with them when we do the design. So we're actually going to delete that point, and this is going to extend up. Yeah, so sometimes it takes a little bit of time to do that. So let's see, what do we got here? 17 feet. So now we're going to build our pergola. And this is where it gets a little tedious. I might have to speed up the video for this. We'll see. Let's see here. We're going to slim this down to 2 inches. And then I'm going to, no, this is going to be 9 inches. And now I can use this board to kind of line everything up. And one thing that's a little bit annoying with this is that as you decrease stuff in length, it actually decreases in elevation as well. So it actually makes it a little bit challenging to, line everything up. So you kind of got to do that. It's a little bit of trial and error for this part. That's why it takes so long. We're gonna actually just change the orientation of the texture here too. Put that under the authorization board. Just move this right to there. And I'm going to do this again right here. Okay, so that's our pergola. And now we're going to bring this one down because now we know our height, because this height is consistent all the way through, and it's on a, I think this is, yeah, so it's on a flat plane, so it's running right through. And now we're going to just grab another one of these. I'm going to just grab one of these, and I'm going to just copy and paste it, and I'm going to spin it. So you can spin it by using that little, there's this little dot on the top, and it turns into kind of a rotating tool. Or if you want, there's actually a rotating tool up here in the left-hand corner. So I'm going to zoom out, and I'm going to pull this through here like this. I'm just visually kind of doing this, not actually. I'm just kind of setting the lumber is actually kind of inside the house, as you can see here. And I'm just trying to line these up. Just eyeballing it. Okay, so we're going to move it like this, about 16 inches. Now I select both, and I just hit copy and paste, and I just kind of, again, just kind of line it up like that. And I go with all four. Just like that. Okay, so now all of these pieces are a little bit low because we want them to be sitting up and above these. So these are called the rafters, and I'd call these other two down here. You could call them rafters too, but some people would call them, like, there'd be discrepancy. People call them purlins, rafters. There's a bunch of different terms for them, but I would call these ones that are running through it the rafters, and these two that are actually the supports, you could call them supports or purlins. I'm sure a whole bunch of people are going to be arguing this with me, but that's okay. I'm just a designer, I don't build them. When I point to them, I just say, client, this thing, and they're like, yeah, sounds good. Okay, so there they are. They're all lined up perfectly. Now I'm actually going to just do one last thing. Actually, I'm going to delete that. I'm going to just copy paste one of these, and I'm going to just slide it right here because I want there to be an actual ledger board. So the ledger board would be the attachment point to the house. So obviously these wouldn't attach to the house without a board that's running parallel to the house that's bolted into the house. So as I'm doing here, this is the ledger board that I have highlighted, and I'm looking at it right now. So this would be bolted into the house, and it's in line with the deck because it's in line with the floor framing, and the ledger and the deck would have its own ledger as well. So they would be, you know, structurally anchored to the floor framing of the house, making it really, really strong and able to hold a lot of weight. So, I mean, the pergola is not very heavy at all, and it's not going to hold much weight, but the deck can be pretty heavy with snow or if a whole bunch of people are on there. So here's the deck. It's almost done. We're going to just make it look sexy with a little bit of, throw some furniture in there. So let's see, what do we want to put? We're going to do, let's do an L-shaped sectional today. So I don't have an L-shaped sectional in this program, so I just kind of make one. Just like so. Okay, so that's there. Now we're going to throw a fire pit. Everyone loves a fire pit. Gas range, of course. Gas fire pit, not wood, unfortunately, for on the deck. And then we're going to just toss in some planters because I have them already saved in here. So let's just do this, shrink them up a bit. choose some plants, something different this time. Let's go with a shrub. Let's take this blue shrub. Shrink it down. That's gonna look nice. Oh yeah. There we go. There we go. Just like that. Okay, looks nice. I'm actually going to just toss something up on this top cap here. So we usually do a top cap on these. I should change the... There we go, that's what I want. This is where the tedious stuff comes in, doing these little details. But I like to do them because when people, you know, I like to make the design as accurate as possible, especially when people have the full video and the full design at their disposal when we're building it. You know, they have a lot of expectations when it comes to the design, so I like to make sure it's pretty close, as close as I can make it. So we're gonna bring this down, and I gotta make this a little less long here. So it's a little big. There we go, that's what it'll look like. Something like that. And it'll be black. Just like that. Okay, something like that. Perfect. So that's what the privacy screen will look like if it's maintenance free. And here's the pergola. We're gonna do a few more things. Just toss in some lights and then our patio, just to make it look extra good. Here we go. What am I doing? Okay. We're gonna do a full patio here. Like that. Ooh, it looks nice. Yep, that looks good. And then we'll throw a fence in too. I'm gonna switch up this rail. This glass rail looks a little bit nuts with the stairs, so we're gonna change it to picket rail. Or let's do cable rail actually. So cable rail, it's actually national building code for most places. It's not deemed a legal rail to actually install pretty much anywhere. Definitely not in Manitoba, where I'm from. And the reason is because it's considered a climbable rail because it's got these large spaces. Anything over 3/4 of an inch is considered, like a space is considered climbable, so people or children can kind of climb up it and fall over. Let's see, so I gotta change these stairs up too actually. I gotta make them a little different just because they don't look right. Tread. Riser. Let's go with match the fascia there. The fascia is the vertical board. So right here it's the board on the vertical plane, and so that's the riser, which is also has fascia, and this is the tread. The gray and the kind of purple color is the riser. And then the stringer is what's on the side. So if it was exposed, it would be wood like that color, but we always clad them with the same color fascia because the fascia wraps around. So it'll look like that. And then I'm going to just throw some lights in too to make it look extra ballin'. And so for lots of the decks too, as I'm looking at the underside, so what you normally see on one of these decks is fully finished. So this would be a deck that would be done with Duradeck. So it's a vinyl membrane, so it actually doesn't look like a deck board at all. It actually looks like a vinyl flooring, but it's super strong and very waterproof. It's like the best product you can buy for waterproofing for a deck. If you go on their website, duradeck.com, they'll tell you all about their warranty and how long they've been in business. They've been in business forever. They're like one of the oldest decking companies actually. And they do all kinds of commercial spaces, and it's just an all-around awesome product. So when you do it on your backyard walkout deck, so this would be called a walkout deck because it's got a walkout basement. So your basement is actually, it's considered a walkout because your first floor is kind of here, and then your basement actually has a fully walkable door here. And then underneath, you'll be able to see the deck framing, which will be totally waterproof now. So under here, you'll have no rain coming through. All the rain will run off the front, and because it'll be a slope deck, so it'll just run off the front. And what you could do to finish this underside is do a soffit or a wood finish, whatever you kind of want. The less maintenance is the soffit, and it's actually pretty inexpensive to do, and it's a really nice finish. You can even put lights in there. I have some photos on the website of a really nice project we did with lights, and actually a cedar ceiling. So this is what it looks like all done. And I can't add the soffit in here, unfortunately. I could with a whole bunch of 3D configuring and work and putting some textures in, but I'm not going to do that. So this is the project all done. I'm going to just toss a quick fence in here and some plants and really spice this thing up. Oh, not you. Let's see, I'm going to change you to wood 15. Okay, that looks good. And I'm going to throw some, a little bit more furniture in here just to make it look a little nicer. No, this will go under here. It's going to just go like this underneath. So when you have your party underneath, there's no rain. So even if it's drizzling or whatever, you can enjoy it. And then here, we're going to just leave that open for now. And then I'm going to just toss some trees in just to make it look a little bit nicer in the backyard. Just to give it a bit of character. Actually, I'm going to put a path in too. Oops. Okay, so I could get more involved into designing the whole backyard. I'll do that probably in a different video to like do some landscaping. I just threw this path in here to kind of show what it would look like. And I'm gonna just put 2 more big trees in the yard, just to make it look cool, look a little more full. Let's put this guy here, and then we'll put another one over here. All right, that looks kind of weird, but whatever. That's what we got for now. So here's the deck. It's all done. So we can actually go into first person mode. Probably gonna get a bit laggy if I do this, but so this actually projects all the shadows and everything too, and I can take my high-res images right now. So I can take those for my screenshots and thumbnails, and that will be the project all done. And I will see you guys in another video. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.